So some of you are doing this naturally already, that you take the results from ChatGPT and you put them into Claude. There's a word for it. They call it LLM stacking. And what we're really trying to do is go through the best practices to be able to get the best possible outcome out of it. Again, doesn't have to be so confusing, doesn't have to be so bad. Mark your calendars, Wednesday, 9 a.m. It's going to be a bitchin' disco time as always. Okay, so let me just see if we got okay, got that recorded good. So, the SOP, again, I was trying to get a couple of you to chime in over here. Who's got an actual plan when they wake up in the morning? Let's just break it down to the bare bones minimum. Dirk's about to say something. No, Dirk has no plan. Dirk's flying blind. Dirk in Denver. Yeah, Michael, he's semi-retired here, so I don't know if we could call
I
him.
still have a plan every day.
Okay, let's hear the plan there. First, tell everyone who you are and where you are.
I'm Michael Varoukis. I own a company called CRS Corporate Relocation Systems, and we specialize in moving companies across the country.
Great.
Uh, I'm lucky to live in a place where I can see the sunrise for the first time in my life. So I usually get up for sunrise, have a cappuccino, and then head out for a walk with my wife in the morning. Then I'll come back, have another coffee, check my emails, and then I've got my day broken up so that I can get away from this desk and walk at 11 o'clock, at 1 o'clock, and then have some free time at 3 o'clock. I just can't sit and focus 8 hours a day the way I used to anymore. And I need to get up and move around as I got older. So that's pretty much my daily schedule. And now I'm incorporating a type of Mediterranean diet to figure it all out.
Yeah,
So
you look
that's
skinny.
my goal. Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight in
Yeah,
the past 4 years.
yeah,
It's been a
okay.
took a long time to put it on. It's taken a long time to get it off. But
Yeah, unfortunately, I could teach everyone how to gain weight. That's for sure. But
the type of plan, you need a plan, I think, anyway.
you need a plan for everything, and I think that's the point of the of this meeting. That if you take a look, I think we work pretty hard on these course books, and if you could take a look at it and try and give it as much honest answers as possible, we're trying to immediately find out how organized you think you are. I've learned a long time ago, I can't force someone to be organized if they're not. I would like you to maybe think of it in a different way. I had someone who just said, Ed, I just won't do all of this stuff. And I realized, yeah, I love to give the example of Slim Fast, the fad diet from the 1980s. A shake for breakfast, a shake for lunch, and then a sensible meal. Anybody old enough to remember those commercials? And at the end of the day, a sensible meal was the side of a cow because you just had two drinks all day. So what I'm saying here is if you're not going to be enjoying the process, you're not going to do it. So don't bother. I really mean that. If you hate cold calling, fuck it. Don't do the cold calling. But if you do want to actually stop and take some time to figure out how organized you are and what is actually bringing in meaningful business and who's doing what within the company. I've made a resolution, as I do most years, but this year I'm really following it, to really be absolutely disciplined about the order of how things operate and what actually goes on a day-to-day basis, and to recognize that as much as I love AI and as much as I love social media, there really can be major time sucks in there. So if nobody wants to talk about their organization, why don't you talk to me about something a little bit easier? What is your biggest time suck?
My
Nobody.
wife,
Your wife is your biggest time suck. I hope she's
I'm
not
just
there.
kidding. No, I'm kidding. She's not my task.
This meeting is being recorded, and I do have Zelle or Venmo. Okay, I'm just messing with you. Paul, tell everyone who you are and where you are.
I am Paul Zwiebin. I live in New York City. My wife is my business partner. I was at Douglas Elliman for 18 years. My wife was at Elliman for 22 years, and now we're at Compass.
Okay, and so all joking aside, where does your time break down? I want to start by saying Paul's a very successful team with him and his wife, and they've done an awful lot. So it's great to hear the failure points from a guy that's doing so well because I think it sends a message to all of us that we all have it. So please.
I mean, I think we're really weak when it comes to SOPs in every different category. Um, it's like in my head, oh, I have to send a closing gift. We just closed, and I don't think we miss that many things, but it's just not memorialized. My morning routine is down to the second from 4:45 a.m. to like 8:10 a.m. Pretty much 7 days a week. But I would say our biggest weakness as we grow is standard operating procedures.
Okay. So here's a prescription to help everyone along. As we speak and as we talk, and I do expect this to be an interactive meeting, guys, I'd like you to make notes of where you think the failure point is. I always talk about my failures. I've got no issue with sharing the fact that I'm merely human and that we have that. Try and make an exhaustive list of where all the problems are, and then we could reverse engineer it and build a plan around that. Lisa Murray in Scottsdale. Lisa, do you mind unmuting yourself? Are you in a place where you could talk?
Good talk.
Okay, great. First of all, tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Lisa Murray in Fountain Hills / Scottsdale, Arizona, Russ Lyon, Sotheby's.
Okay, very good. Welcome to the meeting. Glad to have you. What's going on with email? You put that in the
Oh,
chat
I don't
here.
know. It's a time suck, and I keep trying to organize it, and I'm actually getting there. I archived 43,000 emails over New Year's while I had some time. And now
Okay.
I'm just, trying to create more filters. And it's just, everything you ever log on to and look at, suddenly they're blasting you with shit. And it takes time, even if it's junk.
Sure. It takes a lot of, especially if it's junk.
Yeah.
Especially if it's junk. Okay, I've got this. I've got about 340 emails. Actually, that's what I got yesterday. 340 emails. Overwhelmingly, it was junk.
Yeah.
Also you have old accounts, right? Do you have just one email
Sure.
account? Am I the,
No,
yeah.
no, no. Multiple accounts. And then, it's stuff from agents in the office, listings and open houses and webinars. And it's just endless.
Okay. So two things to think about with that. I don't want to just give a tit for tat of recommendations, but something that I do, I take the first 10 minutes every morning, and some people say never check your email in the morning, but I do. Uh, and I sort through immediately all the stuff that was not done and not answered.
Uh-huh.
One thing that you could also do, if anyone is familiar with it, if you're on either ChatGPT or Claude, you could go into that and you could associate at least your Gmail. Lisa, are you on Gmail or do you
Oh,
have?
yeah. I'm on
Yeah.
Gmail.
Okay, so you could associate your Gmail with your large language model, your ChatGPT, your Claude, your Grok, Gemini, whatever tool you're using, and you're going to be able to then pull it down and ask the AI, what do you see as important? Now, again, it's not going to be perfect. I don't want anyone to just outsource their entire brain to these things yet. I say yet very
How do
carefully.
you connect it in that way?
Okay, good question. Let's take a quick peek here and just see if we could actually get in. Hold on one second. I'm going to just show you my go-to large language model is Claude. I know a lot of you might use ChatGPT. It all really works very similarly. Usually there's something in the settings. I'm going to try and enlarge this here. And let's just take a look. Privacy, billing, usage, capabilities. Connectors. Sorry, here we go. So connectors within the settings, there's something called
Yeah.
connectors, and you can see that I've actually connected my Gmail now and my Google Calendar for that matter. And then there's some other things that you know we'll nerd out on for Notion and GitHub. A lot of you don't know what that is, and that's fine. But you're able to actually connect from there and what I'm able to do is actually collaborate with the LLM, with the AI about my emails. So if I could say something like, "Do you see any emails?" And I just don't want to pull up anything too private, work-wise, um, from. Let me just see who I could pick it out that where it's not going to be personal business stuff here. Um, Oh, I talked about this last week in my meeting, my hip replacement. So we could say from HSS or hospital for special surgery. Okay, so now it's going to connect with the email, and it's going to not only get the messaging that's in there and searching the messages, but it could actually get the context of what those messages are. Of course, whenever I'm in a live meeting, there's always a problem. But, hopefully that won't be the case. I'm encountering an error with your Gmail right now. Fuck you, Jesus. Ay, ay, ay. Try in a minute. Okay. So, um, You could also search directly in Gmail. Well, I'm not doing it directly in Gmail, guy. Let's just see if it could do it one more time.
I
If it
think
gives
this
you
is
another
why I
second.
don't do it, Ed.
Yeah,
I
you know
see
what?
all these great ideas and I try it
It
for 30 seconds and I run into the same problem and never try it again.
it's definitely my biggest problem is that when I give the demos here, it conflicts with Zoom.
Oh,
And that's my biggest problem is that whenever I'm on Zoom, these things seem to have a problem. Just know that you can connect your email to
okay.
the LLM, and more than that, you're going to be able to get the context of the messaging that actually went on. So if Dina and I are doing a deal and there's all this information from the past about a particular client, I'm able to pull it up out of that LLM, and we could see like right now we have a grievance with another realtor. Um, guy was, in my opinion, a real prick. And is that a cat above you, Kenny? Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know.
that's
Kenny's got a
on.
cat. Okay, that just kind of got me distracted for a
There's
second.
another one over here. There's
Oh,
another one right
great! I
there.
got a dog here, so we all have animals. That's good. Um, But that's where this thing really shines is being able to pull it out. I hope to be able to give you the perfect example of that momentarily. But we could certainly try. What other time sucks do you guys have? Let's try and get down into that. John, George, Suzanne, you guys could just chime in as you can. There's got to Paul's the only one with the time suck. Paul, you really suck. You're the only one with the time suck. Okay. Jonathan?
Responding to emails, Edmund, just going, I get hundreds of emails a day, and just going through those is a nightmare.
Okay. And yeah, okay. So emails are definitely the problem. There's a technical side to this. First of all, never do what you can outsource and never outsource what you could automate. I ask all of you to begin to automate the email process and try and make note as you go through this how many are really mission critical emails. Most stuff that you're getting. One problem that I've got with not only my company but every one of your companies, we're getting open houses in Yorba Linda, California. Now, why the hell do I want to know about that? I mean,
Exactly.
I'm in Boca Raton, Florida. Talk about deliberately wasting someone's time. And this is sanctioned by your company. I don't care who it is, a Compass, Element. I get it from all these companies. So I think
I
some of these,
unsubscribe.
huh?
I unsubscribe.
You unsubscribe. Okay.
No,
But
I unsubscribe. I mean, I get put on these lists all the time with other realtors, and it's like I don't know. It's a big pet peeve of mine as well. That as a realtor, why are you sending me all the stuff that's so relevant to your local market? I mean, I love hearing from other realtors, but
Yeah.
it's like when it's not relevant to me or my market, it's just noise.
But you guys send your newsletter to everybody, right?
I don't send my newsletter to anyone.
Oh,
I don't
I
have a
send my
newsletter.
newsletter to you, Paul, but that's just because I love you.
no, but I mean, I send it to everyone, like every agent.
Your newsletter.
Yeah.
And tell me about the
I
content.
think
Is it
newsletters, sorry.
Go ahead, Dina.
No. I was just saying I think newsletters can be very different to than a local open house that's
100%.
taking place in 2 hours in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
Newsletters I think sort of show what's going on generally, especially we do have people who move back and forth from different markets.
Yep.
And just, some of them are great information to know what's going on. I mean, for Florida, what's going on in New York has been a huge factor for us. So I would love to get Paul's newsletter and get his take on what's going on in New York. So, it's all, but I think open houses are different. That's just,
Yeah.
you really need to be local for that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we could agree it's all about the quality of the content.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're regarding something, somebody said to me, how many, I think my email's going out too much, my weekly newsletter. And my answer to them is then you don't think your newsletter is worth reading. You're still thinking of yourself as a burden where you need to begin to think of yourself in your newsletter as content that people are really going to want to love. I'll give you a case in point in a minute, but that's really, where is this thing here? that's really the bottom line is that if you have the content that people are going to want to see, nobody's going to look at it. Again, going back to the interpersonal relationships here, nobody wants to, if you've got a crush on someone and they're sending you a couple messages a day, you couldn't get enough from them. You would think, oh my God, she's emailing me again. That's just the greatest thing in the world, right? So it should be considered the same thing with your content. Let me give you just an example here and how you guys could start to repurpose things. In our standard operating procedure, we've created a newsletter. I mean, I write this content and then we'll repurpose it for the people on our team. This is Samantha. I don't know if she's here this morning, but there was a story that we did about the New York City new tenant czar and the war on property owners. Now, again, it's I could just mention it because universally, I've not heard one person say that this woman's saying the right thing by telling everyone that property ownership is akin to white supremacy. I don't think that that's going to help anyone, especially if you're a realtor. But I put this content together, and in Samantha's case, we just literally changed her bio, changed the stuff, and she's sending it to a different list. Uh, Dina's going to do the same thing for her group of people. Again, we're going to do it actually for her. And if you get to the bottom of this thing, they always have the little bio about Samantha. And our brand is that we use these cartoons in our branding. This has been something that has been extremely well received. If we actually take a look at her reporting here, and again, I just mentioned this and I'm taking a small diversion to this. We have right now a 78% open rate and a 13% click-through rate. That's pretty good. Again, it's a small group of people, but that's exactly what I'm trying to get out of this is to get the kind of content that people are
Yeah.
going to want to get over and over again. Somebody was saying something. Was somebody saying something? No. Okay. So that's one thing. Another thing for you to note, how many people have a paid version of either ChatGPT or Claude or any one of these things?
I do.
Most of you do. Okay. Most of you do. All of you really should. Lane is here. Great. Cool. So we have all the stuff. Did you know that the LLM knows more about you than you know about yourself? Don't believe me? Go to ChatGPT. Somebody do it right now. Stop what you're doing with me right now. Pull it up on the screen, ChatGPT, and say these words. Who's going to try it for me? Who's got the guts to try it for me? Okay, Michael's going to do it. Who else? John, you're going to do it as well? John Baton? Yeah, maybe. And Laney's going to do it. Great. So open up ChatGPT and say, based upon what you know about me, where do you think I could improve in my day-to-day business operations? Based upon what you know about me, where do you think I can improve on my day-to-day business operations? I'm going to give all of you a chance to fill that out. Now, I don't know what your settings are, if you're allowing the LLM to remember who you are or anything like this, but I could give you a very brutal uh, uh, prompt where it will tell you stuff that you don't want to hear, but you know is right. So, Michael's got his finger on his mouth. He's now thinking, okay, John's doing the same thing. Hassan is thinking really hard. I could see that here. His beard is growing. Okay, so let's, so who wants to give it a read? Who's got the courage to actually talk about it? Okay, Michael, go ahead.
Highest leverage improvements, day-to-day ops, decision compression. Problem, too many micro decisions stay with you. Create decisions right by dollar amount and risk class. Example, ops team, auto approves anything less than 25 grand unless it's client-facing risk. Weekly output scorecard, no activity. Effort is tracked, outcomes aren't tight enough. One-page scorecard per leader, revenue created, margin protected, risk reduced, capacity freed. 90 minutes, margin erosion highs in small ops behaviors. Monthly drill down on rehandling, OT causes, truck idle time.
Hold
I
on,
don't know.
what's OT? Overtime?
Yeah, I guess so. Overtime causes for payroll issues. So I mean, it's got like 7 or 8 things that I'll read through. I'm not going to read through all of it now, but
Yeah, well, and again, I don't want to meddle too far into your personal business here. I'm just trying to demonstrate to all of you that I bet you didn't know you could do that with your AI.
I'm also trying to understand it.
Okay, so great, Michael. Working on you still. Say, can you explain this to me in plain English? I'm trying to break this down and give me three key steps that I could take right now in my standard operating procedure. You see, I told you we were going to get to this. Give me three key steps that I could take right now in my standard operating procedure to make myself much more efficient. Give that a shot. And all of you could do this, by the way. I could see some of you on your iPhones. It's harder. Here's one other thing. Okay, Dina's pointing to herself. I'm going to pick Dina a second. Here's the other thing. If you are like some who share your ChatGPT account with your spouse, it might not come up with the same exact information because your spouse is not you. You both have two different opinions and you both have two different businesses and two different things. So you might not get the purest information. Respectfully, and again, I spend your money so carefully. Please subscribe to one of these. It's $20 a month. In the scheme of business, it's a pimple on an elephant's ass. It's nothing. It's a tiny, tiny pimple. Just spend the money, get it. Because I really believe that it doesn't take that long for a dickhead to know who you are and what you're actually doing, and it could come up with some great suggestions for you. Okay, who's got
And it's
some?
subsidized. Let's not
And
forget that.
oh, and he brings up a good point. If we're spending $20 a month on ChatGPT, it's costing OpenAI or the investors in it so much more money, probably 5 times more. You're probably costing them $100 a month. So it's if one of the things that I always love to do, I when my wife and I went on our honeymoon, um, how many years ago? Long time ago, 27 years ago. We went to the Grand Hotel de Cap Ferrar. Okay, beautiful hotel. Anyone see the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels? Great
Yeah.
movie. Okay, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Steve Martin. Yeah, great movie. Michael Caine, Steve Martin. In any case, absolutely beautiful hotel. Here's the thing. At the time, it was just bought for $40 million. And they renovated it for another $40 million. Guys, there's 40 hotel rooms in this hotel. How much could and they're only open in season. How much could they possibly charge? The hotel was bought for ego purposes. So by default, you're getting a value. Isn't that the truth? By default, no matter what they're charging. And that said, it's a very expensive hotel. Don't get me wrong. We only stayed for a couple of nights on our honeymoon. But by default, you're getting a value. I always try and find businesses. I always see if there's somebody that's actually invested in something, like ChatGPT is the second best example of this. Somebody's spending a fortune to keep your attention. Can you imagine what a year ago could never have imagined that we'd be using it this way? You guys went to ChatGPT as Google, and you went there and did your own research. Now we're actually having it run things for you. And that's pretty remarkable. So, anyone else want to chime in on this? Anyone else got the
Mine
correct
has a
answer?
cool one. Mine,
Who's that?
Lena.
Lena. Oh, go ahead, Lena. Tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Hi, I'm Lena Kislin. I'm in Miami.
Mhm.
And yeah, mine came up with a cool one. So I have my own business that's tech within real estate. And mine came up with one to write down in one place where all work decisions live. So you stop holding everything in your head. All tasks, decisions, follow-ups, everything is written out. So you don't redecide the same thing. You can see clearly what matters, top priorities. This alone will make you feel calmer. Set no instant reaction rule for decisions. So I think this is good because sometimes when you read an email or you see something, you get, or at least me personally, I'm like, oh, I need to act on this right now. When this is telling you no, like plan it, think about it in your head before you give someone an answer, business wise, honestly, life wise too, and define clear ownership or you don't touch it. So if there's tasks going on, every single person needs to, every task must have one clear owner. If the ownership is unclear, the task is paused until clarified.
Hmm.
Um,
Michael Varoukas is nodding. I thought immediately I knew he would nod because that's so him. Everybody has an owner. It's very good. Keep going, Lena.
Yeah, it says for every task, write down a name next to it. This
Mhm.
stops you from doing other people's jobs. It stops you from feeling drained or overwhelmed. And if you just do these three things, you will think clearer, feel less overwhelmed, make better decisions, look more authoritative, which is good in my business, and move faster with less effort. You don't need more hustle. You need less mental noise and more structure.
Okay. So take that for what it's worth. Dina, have you been trying to chime in, or I see you're muted. You're muted. You're still muted. You're talking, but you're muted. We can't hear you. You got to push the little mute. There you go.
Sorry, so I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Sorry. I so one second, I just have to shrink here.
And while you're one
So
seconding, just Deneen, LLM stands for large language model. That is ChatGPT. ChatGPT and Claude and Grok and a lot of these, the technical name is LLM. So I wanted to say that. But Dina, go ahead.
so I just put on based on what you know about me, how can I improve my day-to-day business? And it actually is good. It's based on what I know about you, a South Florida realtor who values polished communication and client experience, which is actually very true about me. Here are high impact practical ways to improve your day. Tighten your daily focus, less busy, more productive. And then it actually gives me a schedule of morning 60 to 90 minutes revenue first, follow up with warm clients, past client check-ins, hot leads, active buyers and sellers, midday client facing and showing, late afternoon, brand and leverage, one social post or one market email or one relationship touch, end of day, reset, note tomorrow's top 3 priorities. And that actually, in my standard operating procedure, every night before I go to bed, I make just a little list of what I need to get done the next day, people I must reach out to. I take a look at my appointments for the next day and make sure that they're structured and set up and confirmed. I just always plan my next day because I also feel like in our business, having a standard operating procedure every single day can be a little difficult just because all of us have our days look so different from day to day. It's not like, we don't have such a set schedule, which is one of the things that many of us like about this business.
Sure. And yet there are things that you can absolutely get done. You should
Absolutely
have one
agree.
handwritten. I need at least one handwritten letter to someone every single day. Every single day. I mean, that's just it's 5 minutes. Nobody wants it. I get it. It hurts your hand, whatever. But people love getting a handwritten letter. That's one of my things that I do every single day, every single week. Today, you're going to get my weekly email. I think most of you get it. Hopefully you get it. But we'll get that out for you. And there are things right now which we will do in future meetings, where I've created a system within, again, my go-to large language model, LLM, is Claude. And there's something called Claude Skills where I could literally drop in all the things that I want done, and it will produce the stuff that I just showed you. The workbook or the course book that you're taking a look at, we work very hard on this stuff and we go through everything, but it was really driven by AI. As you read it and as you see that picture of me, I mean, I didn't get an artist to make that. I went there and we have a procedure step by step by step for creating that. And that does add the value to what is going on here. Having a knowledge base about real estate, I'm having people stop me within my community, say, wow, great email, great letter, great stuff. Dina's going through a headache on her block. They're putting up the DMV, or at least they're threatening to, on her block. I did an article about that. That's going to be something that Dina will run in her email. It's something that I'm going to run in my email. Why? Because there's going to be 500 more cars on a mostly 2-lane, single lane road on either side. I mean, they've expanded it in most areas, but there's going to be a DMV. Nobody wants to be next to the DMV. They just don't want to be next to the DMV. Now, again, it's something that we know, and I could tell by how people are clicking that people are actually taking interest in this content. And what you actually do with them from there, again, is another procedure. If we've seen someone click on your email, if you are doing the email marketing, which I think you should, what do you do with the people when they've actually clicked? How do you actually upgrade them? Well, I immediately try to make sure I'm connected on social media to those people. Again, part of the procedure. I immediately try and get them, get their birthday if I can, or I really try and concentrate on all of this. And I've said to all of you, I'd like you to be famous to 1,000 doors. If you could be famous to 1,000 doors, truly famous, where they look at you as the realtor, you're pretty much set in most markets. It doesn't mean that you can't do more. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be more business coming in. It just seems to me that the phone keeps ringing when you hit those numbers. And overwhelmingly, I'm finding that with more and more of you, that you have that reputation with a very concentrated group of people, it actually works. So, questions? Okay. Um, this is giving all sorts of
Really sorry to interject really quickly, but so
Go ahead.
one of my constant decisions I feel like I make and I follow I think your rule more than not, but I've got people that I've set up with like buyer searches for that like I've tried to reach out to them, they're as dead as a doornail. I can see they're still opening their emails, but they never respond to a personal email to me. I almost want to like just for my own head space, just delete the collection and move on. But at the same time, it's like free marketing to some random person. You just never know when they actually might come back alive, right? So I don't know if anyone had any thoughts about whether you should just, because there's a lot of people that just think in your CRM, like if you can't pick up the phone and call them, they're dead to you, right?
Well,
That's what my chat GPT nailed on. It said add a decision gate to every active prospect and listing. Hang on, let me see what this says. At a clearly defined point in every relationship, you require a decision to either continue, change, or pause. No more drifting.
okay. Do you agree with that?
Yes, people are a big time suck when they
Oh.
are like everything he was just talking about.
Ooh, Dina's got her hand up and she needs to unmute herself before she speaks, but she's shaking her head no. I'm going to be leading the brawl in the parking lot. Let's see what happens here. Dina, go ahead. Why is Lisa
Okay.
wrong?
Okay, so my opinion, it depends on how much time you're actually putting into it. Because if they're just getting like when the way we set up our MLS search, it just goes to people and it literally
It's
takes
all
zero
automated.
effort on my phone. Okay, I would like to point out that Edmund had a client 8 years ago. I'm just going to use first name, Jen and Fred.
Okay. Yeah.
Had a client 8 years ago, and they continue and they sucked a little bit of his time. He showed them some stuff. They went back up north and he didn't hear from them again for many, many, many years. However, they continued, I assume, to get his email and stuff because they remembered you. They came back to us about 6 months ago and bought a $1.8 million house.
Mm-hmm.
They continued to get his emails. It took him no effort. I'm not sure you even really remembered who they were when they first reached out.
But
was,
I'll also say this. Part of what's driven my SOP and my plan is we are that client and I. While I think they're lovely, they're not. I'm not the person to necessarily work with them. I'm not the person we all have, and that takes some real brutal honesty with all of this. You were much more, she seems to like you more. I mean, sometimes not everyone's a perfect love connection, right? It doesn't mean that we didn't get along. I'm sounding like we don't like each other. We do. We like each other. I like them. I'm very happy to have them as a customer. I just wouldn't have been able to do what I was able to do. And again, part of my plan was that I would have some other people on the team. Now, a lot of you were saying, okay, I like to work on my own, or there's not enough revenue to have the team. Yeah, there's definitely times where you feel that. But I could tell you this, my plan at this point, there's going to be very, very few deals that I'll purely do on my own anymore. There's just very, very few deals that are going to come through that I'm going to just be the solo guy on it. Sometimes it's a real easy thing. We thought we had one last week where a guy came in, put an offer on the house, and now the seller decided they don't want to sell. Other times it's somebody that's going to take months and months of work. You got to kind of accept that as what you're doing. But part of my plan and part of the things that as soon as I realized this, things started taking off, is that I need more than me in the mix. I just can't be, and there are certain people that I just absolutely am not going to work very well with. And you could say, well, but Ed, it's a $5 million deal. Why would you want to split that? Easily, because if you have this as a methodology, you're going to have many, many more deals long term. You just shouldn't look at one single deal as the make or break, unless you're ready to retire, which hopefully most of you are not. Otherwise, I won't have you here. I like having you here. Um, a couple other things. I'd like you to take a look at the prompts in the workbooks. that it actually gives a theory. You've probably seen some of this before. I'll read this. You are an expert business operations consultant conducting a strategic interview to build personalized AI-powered standard operating procedure for my business. Your mission: interview me by asking me one question at a time. Wait for my answer. Adapt your follow-up questions based on my answers. After gathering all the information, generate a complete and actionable SOP. You could take the sheet, literally copy it, and paste it into the LLM and let it do the rest. Sorry, large language model, ChatGPT. You could literally do that, and you could go through a great exercise to be able to actually make a day-to-day plan. Never before have we had such great insights into ourselves. Never before have we had such great insights into the best organizational process. I could tell you, I do get into the nitty-gritty. It's a habit of mine. It's a terrible thing in a way, because I think there's a lot of real opportunity. If I ask my LLM, it will tell me that I spend too much time on too many different things, and I need to be focused on dollar productive things. I need to be out to lunch with people, out to drinks with people. Um, working on my all my content that's actually going out. And I try very hard. But again, done is better than perfect. And I do not always follow all these plans, but I do want you to think about this. There is prompt after prompt in this workbook. I hope you guys print it up, because there's just some really great stuff that will help you um, along here. Let me just see if there was another point that I wanted to make here. Um, okay, and here's, like, for those of you, there's a quick start. Prompt number 5, which I think is really good. Generate a complete personalized SOP based on my business profile. So you give them your profile, your name, your business, your location, years in the business, organizational level. If you basically, that's arbitrary. You got to decide how organized you are, and your your biggest challenges, 1 or 2 sentences. And by doing this, it's going to give you the quick CMA. You see, our SOP. I know that a lot of you are not going to want to go through pages and pages and pages of the stuff. So I created a little cheat sheet here. So just remember prompt number 5. If you guys don't want to do the whole thing, at least try and do that. There's also various times a day where you're going to be a little bit more productive. Right now, if you guys are in your LLM and you're brave enough to share with us, say, based upon what you know about me, what time of day do you think I am most productive and why? Type that in. Give it a shot. Take a look. You could glean a lot of insights. And I live in my computer. Quite literally, I'm always doing stuff in my computer. I think a lot of you are doing the same thing. Even if you're not using it as much as I am, you're going to get some great insights into your business activity. If any of you have done that prompt, time of day prompt, anyone? Anyone? Ferris Bueller? Ferris Bueller? Okay, John. Oh, John and Suzanne. Hold on, John, before I get you, maybe I could pick on Suzanne. Could I pick on you, or am I going to scare you?
No, not at all.
Okay, good. So what did you try the prompt?
I did.
Yes.
I've been trying a lot of prompts over here. So let's
Okay.
see. My most productive time is the morning.
Oh, sorry. Just tell everyone who you are and where you are. That was
I'm
my
sorry.
bad.
I'm Suzanne Damon, and I'm in the New Hampshire market.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that is the whole state, really. We don't have cities. The most productive time in the morning is specifically the first 2 to 3 hours after I start my day, which is very true.
Okay. Very good. John?
Mine was 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. and it says it's confident that is my best time. My questions during that window tend to be strategic, not reactive, structural, and forward-looking, not cleanup work.
Okay. So great. Take it a step further. Based on what you just told me, what should I do tomorrow morning?
Mhm.
Now, I don't know how much of your own work you're actually sharing with the computer, with LLM, ChatGPT, Claude. There's a lot of words to say here. I don't know how much you're sharing with it, but based upon how much you share, it's going to be able to come up with some things. And by the way, you're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to say that it's completely off, and it very well may be. I just think that we're at a point now where we've got these great tools that we could utilize to work it out. How much time do you spend on social media content? or any type of marketing outreach, newsletters, that type of thing.
That
There's
whole time.
companies that have been built. Anybody know a company called Keeping Current Matters?
Mm-hmm.
Some of you have seen that.
Yep.
The whole company is built on the fact that you don't want to do that work. Okay? If everyone knew what I'm about to tell you, Keeping Current Matters is going to have a real problem. You could generate content so quickly now, so personalized, so up to date in within your community and what you're doing. Um, you just have to actually have it scheduled, and you just have to actually say and have a relationship, shall we say, or an occurrence with your AI that's going to be able to produce the stuff that you want it to produce. Um, One thing that you could do, which I hope all of you consider, and Eitan, we need to do a meeting on this as well. Claude has something called Claude Skills. Claude Skills, I would just want to digress for a minute to show all of you this because I think that it's important. I'm going to say something like using the Edmund Bogen brand skill in Claude Skills. Look up the local real estate news in New York City. Actually, no, in New Hampshire, and create a an Instagram post about it. Take what you regard as the best story. Okay, so again, I always put the risk out there because it could be hit or miss. Let's see if this has any questions. I'll read the Edmund Brand skill first. This is something that was actually programmed in. We could show you all how to create a skill. My brand, all of you should know it pretty well. You see me with my jacket and glasses and jeans. You see blue and other colors like that. You see the fonts that I actually have. And right now, this thing has done the research. And what was the best story for Instagram post is the New Hampshire affordability crisis angle from Concord Monitor. Suzanne, any news on that? I don't know if Suzanne, I can't, this is looking it up. Again, we may or may not like the story. You might not want to put crisis as your lead story, but I'm just kind of to show you here that because the computer and because Claude was given my brand, it's actually going to take the information and let's see what we got. And it's going to create this. Ta-da. So forget whether you like it or not. But I didn't do anything. I mean, do you guys see this? It,
Yep,
it
looks good.
it takes the style that I have. Now, again, New Hampshire affordability hits record low. I don't know if as a realtor, I want to do that, but I also want to give you and then suggest to the caption here. So suggest what you should actually say in your caption. Am I the only one that's blown away by that? No, maybe. You got to unmute, Dean, if you're going to say anything. Um,
I am blown away by that. Just so you know, I think that's
good,
amazing. I
good.
do.
Good. So what we will be doing in some soon to do meetings is showing you Claude Code and how to actually put it together. We are actually going to have a 5 or 6 week course. This is not for the meek. It's going to be a separately charged course. If you guys want to do it, we need to go in depth. Um, you could certainly keep coming to these meetings and doing this stuff and try and hack it out on your own, and that's great. But we really will have something that you could totally focus on. What I just did was I alleviated the need for anybody to produce that. You really come up with the great content. Susan, go ahead.
I just want to share with this group something I learned earlier this week, and and you might want to go to it now, Edmund. It's
Okay.
called Prompt Cowboy.
Okay, let's take a look.
Prompt Cowboy will take what you just did and write the code that you can copy and paste into chat or any of your element, all of your language models, any one of them. But it writes a very specific code.
Number
So it's a
one prompt generator, prompt cowboy.
So go ahead and
It sounds like a gay bar. Sorry.
No.
Doesn't it sound like a gay? Where are you guys going to? Oh, we're going to prompt cowboy. I'm sorry. Okay, never mind. My bad. Is that?
You know what? It's that Southern Florida thing, probably.
Yeah,
that
sorry.
yeah.
No, that's the New
Yeah.
Yorker in me. I'm just sticking
Yeah.
around. So sorry,
Gotcha.
guys.
It's good. I know a lot of people that use that.
So it really is good. So it'll take so you put it in there. If you put in your prompt, while this call was going on, I took your original question about diagnosing my business and created a more detailed prompt so that I could get more detailed answers than just the question in Chat GPT. So if you go ahead and type something in there, Edmund.
Give me something. Dictate.
I'm a local realtor in Manchester, New Hampshire, and I want to create an Instagram graphic for my market. Get that New York out of your head.
Yeah. I'm a local realtor in Manchester, New Hampshire, and I want to create what?
An infographic.
Yeah.
For the local real estate market.
Targeting gay people. Just kidding.
Yeah, let's do that. No.
Okay.
Yeah, my target market is the gay community.
And it's in Brokeback Mountain, where? No.
Yeah. Okay. Be nice. We got lots of gay members.
That's in Wyoming.
Target market is the gay community.
My target market.
There's a community like that.
Yeah.
Can you add music to it?
Okay, so let's just let's do that. Let's hit that. And now it's going to come up on the other side is improve your prompt. So now it's going to ask you questions so that it can deep dive into it.
Eitan, this is pretty cool, right? Look at this. Wow. Okay.
Okay, so then you're just gonna, let's just say we don't answer the questions just for the sake of time right now.
Okay.
Let's just you could, so we'll get more specific. It'll more about you and what you're trying to do, which is perfect. But hit copy.
Where's copy?
Above the edit.
Okay, got it. Yep.
Then it takes you to your favorite place. So let's just go open Chat GPT.
Okay. Let's see. Is it going to paste it into it, or do I just paste it in?
You got to paste it.
Okay.
Now run it.
I am. Okay, Manchester, New Hampshire LGBT community infographic. Visual ident. Okay, so it's giving some of the rainbow stuff.
So you could play with it, perfect it, make it better.
Yeah, no, that's thank you. So you see, every meeting I always learn something from one of you guys. This is great stuff.
The other thing that I want to tell you really quickly is if you do, and this I did this while I was on this call too. This is really important to meeting with clients. Where's my Grok? So I went to Grok and I used your email address, Edmund, and I said, tell me, and this is in Grok. So I said, find me everything you can about Edmund Bogen at Edmund Bogen, Elman, whatever your email address is. I have a listing appointment with him on Friday, and I need to know how to personalize my pitch.
You have
Grok.
You have a listing appointment with
you or whoever. Okay. And then I gave the email address.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I have a listing appointment with you on Friday, and I need to know how to personalize my pitch.
Great.
So then Grok told me, if I could find it, because I have so many freaking
You want to
tabs.
share your screen?
Wait, let me find it first.
Okay.
Because I have 50 tabs open. That's my time suck right there.
It really is. And Eitan, Karen Knox just asked, how do we get a copy of the prompts? Can you just put the workbook back into the chat so Karen could get that?
Okay, let's see if I can share here.
Is it called Cowboy Prompt?
Sure.
It's called Prompt Cowboy.
Or Prompt Cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah, Dean is all happy about Prompt Cowboy. So is Dirk.
It's really easy. Let's see. So what do I have here? So it says, Edmund, let's see. So tell me everything about it. Edmund, luxury real estate broker, Doug Vinales, Boca Raton, leads a team, 7 professionals, 3 licensed agents, specializes in high-end South Florida properties, blah, blah, blah. Background, New York City PR firm founder, grew to 30 plus employees. Then you exited, went into real estate. Achievements, top producer, 43 closed sales, blah, blah, blah. Services, buy, sell, assistance, value maximization, stress-free processing. You have interest, AI integration in real estate, runs an AI business mastermind, focuses on SOI, 75 to 90% business sourcing daily. So there's all this stuff. Let me just tell you how I can help you. Be professional. So what is your advice on how to approach him? Be professional, concise, and data-driven. Highlight your property's luxury appeal, gated community fit, and market stats. Mention his AI automation interests, reference using tech for marketing, CMAs to show alignment. Emphasize quick, stress-free sales. His clients praise this. Focus on maximizing value and seamless processing. Be prepared with clear goals, numbers, and why his expertise fits.
Okay, then. Okay, then. Look, and yes, you can and should do this before any listing appointment. Is try and do a little research on people. Again, you guys have the world's greatest tools that cost billions and billions of dollars to make, and you're just not using it the way you can. And even if you're paying the $20 a month or whatever it is, by default, you're getting a bargain because it's costing at least $100 a month. It's costing somebody somewhere that much money. Um, you know, one other thing, because it comes up, at least many of you have emailed me after the fact. Do I feel badly, somebody once said, about the fact that I'm contributing to a dirty planet because of all the water that's being used and all this. And it's a very interesting and very real statement. They were a guest, and I guess they didn't like the meeting. Um, I'll just say this, as far as AI is concerned, yes, it does use a lot of resources. It uses a lot of water. The search that Suzanne just did, how much water was used to cool the servers? Do you want to have a guess, Suzanne? I mean, I'll make it real easy. Between a teaspoon and a shot glass. That's how much water it took to cool their computers to actually get this. When you eat a hamburger, how much water went into the manufacturing of that beef patty? And I'm not kidding here when I tell you.
100 gallons.
600 gallons. A
Well, you
chicken
think about it,
sandwich,
it takes how many
150
years for a
gallons.
cow to grow to
A cup of coffee, for God's sakes, is 25 gallons of water went into that. If you look at all the processes that go there. So yes, this is a problem. People, when anybody brings up the environmental hazard, tell them that if they're vegan, if they're living, in other words, this is just a decision for resources that of where these resources are actually going to go. I'm telling you that yes, we need to address that, and I think technology is. I think capitalism is leading the way. Again, don't want to debate anybody, but I really believe that it's being addressed. But just keep in mind, before you go nuts about the environment and everything else, just make sure you get the whole story straight. And I would encourage you to look up everything I just said. It's all absolutely true. So I throw that out there because it's happened more than once where people have said that based upon what I'm doing, I'm somehow harming things. Again, I didn't invent the AI. This is just something I've been passionate about, and I think that yes, we do need to, as a society, come up with solutions. Okay, that was enough of me preaching to the world. Wants, needs, and brags. Now's the time in the meeting for you to talk about what you want, what you need, and what you'd like to brag about. I had my daughters here for quite some time. They went back to school and back to their homes. That was a lot of fun. It was great. My dad has been a bit under the weather, but now he's down in Florida. I'm having lunch with him today. That's something to rejoice. Okay, that's something that's great. Dina and I are in the middle of some great deals. One that didn't work out, another one that's working out great. I'm a blessed guy. I got a lot of great things going on in my life, not the least of which is all of you. Tell me, what's going on that's so great with your life right now? What do you want to brag about? What do you want to request? You got a fundraiser you're in. Up,
Yeah, hi.
Tell everyone who you are.
Yeah, this is Hedika Azizi. I'm from New York, Great Neck area. So yesterday was my birthday, and
Happy birthday.
yeah, and I got the best gift. My son had his last treatment, so Uh, yeah.
Yes.
So it was really like very emotional, and I'm very blessed.
You
I
certainly
just
are.
had to share it with everybody. Yeah.
Thank you. And her son has gone through bouts of cancer treatment, and you made my day. I could brag about the fact that you told me that. That made my
Yeah.
day. Yes, that is something to rejoice. That is something. But
Yeah.
look, guys, we have a lot of pressure. We've got a lot of crap. Rejoice in the stuff that's great. Oh, look, Adina's got all these things. Here, let me make my heart here. Did that work? There we go. Okay. Thank you. Who else? And by the way, it doesn't have to be something that you're all happy about. If you want to tell everyone about a listing you have and that you want to sell it so that you make money and keep it all yourself, that's fine. But go ahead. Who's got something going on?
Edmund, this is Dirk in Denver.
Dirk in Denver, please.
I have a little bit of gratitude to send to you. Prior to our holiday break, you were showing us how to make some Basora videos. And I just bought into doing a little bit of social media content. And for the last few weeks, I've been doing those. And most of my videos are getting between 500-600 views, some over 1,000. I'm having past clients text me, email me, all unprompted, saying they're enjoying content. And for myself, that's a pretty good achievement on connecting with people on a social level. So a little gratitude your direction for showing that.
That's very sweet, and I'm glad that it's working out for you. I think, guys, if you get a chance to sign up for Sora 2, that's part of OpenAI, the company that makes ChatGPT. And one of the things that are great, I took my team members, not the least of which is Dina, and I made an avatar about each of us, and we are reporting in each other's farm areas. Why? Because we work with one another. We work with one another. So I want when Dina walks around here and we meet people, oh yeah, I saw you on the Instagram, and it's working. Let me just give you a quick show, and as you guys, so here's Dina. Oops.
Club has reported a
Hold
phishing
on,
incident.
hold on. You probably can't hear it. Can you guys? No, I need to give you some sound here. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Here's Dina.
St. Andrew's Country Club has reported a phishing incident involving an employee email. Members should avoid suspicious messages. IT has secured the account. When in doubt, remember to verify by phone.
Okay, so that was one. Here's something else that I put out there.
The great wealth migration continues to South Florida. Are you interested in knowing where they're coming from? Comment interested and I'll send you the story, or click the link below.
Okay, so both of those were not real. Both of those were AI avatars, and both of those are being used in a very specific Instagram account called St. Andrew's Members. You guys can't join it, unfortunately. My dad and sisters can't join it either, so don't take it too personally. It's for the people who live in my farm and their adult children who are associated with them. There's 728 houses here.
That's an interesting caveat there.
Well, so the adult children is an interesting one because what happens is
there's future owners.
Yeah, there's futures. But wait a minute, Dee and I, the deal didn't work out, but it was a direct result of the social media. You guys need to understand that we had a nearly $2 million offer put in as a direct result of that. And I've had other closings as a direct result of it too. So it's 100% worth the time. And it's worth the time because these are people that they see it like, oh yeah, I saw you on that too. Now they know Dina. Now I could go get a hip replacement and Dina could do the work for me for a week when I can't go anywhere. How do you like that? And when she goes on vacation and there's something going on in her farm, I can now do the stuff for her. Do you see how important that is? Okay,
no, but I was more commenting on like the you curating the audience in your group.
What do you mean?
Like you are not 100% owners. It's actually adult children of owners are also included, which are prospects.
100. Listen, I am. If I read to you, let me just share it. And I'm showing you this because I want all of you to do it. I really hope that you do. St. Andrews Members, the unofficial St. Andrews Country Club member page, a private account managed by Edmund Bogen, SACC member, that's St. Andrews Country Club, and realtor with Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Pretty well disclosed, right? I mean, I told everybody where it's at. Every one of my competitors is trying to get in. One of them came up to me and complained. I'm sorry, it's a private account. Oh, you're just trying to get business. I said, exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly. Do I give real content? Of course I do. But so we will be doing more meetings like this. I need to hear from you guys.
So if a realtor is a member or a resident, do you allow them in or not?
If a member, if a realtor,
if a competitor of yours that is also a resident in St. Andrews, do you allow them into the group or not?
Oh,
No.
No. I mean, there are a couple that have gotten in that are not, but no. I mean, no, I don't. I don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't
And you
either. I wouldn't give
and
them all
and you
my
could jump
info.
on that and think any way you want. And this was one of them that complained. I just said, I'm very sorry, but that's just, there's so many things that you get from the database. The database, I see who's who. People are coming to me to sign up for this. I get multiple people a week now who are signing up, and these are the adult children. These are the future people that I need to speak to. So do I stop them? Absolutely. Go start your own damn thing. I know where I'm able to compete. I know that I could teach this to all of you, and I could teach this to my competitors, many of which have come here before, and they will never catch me. Okay? Because I know that they're just not doing the same stuff to the same extent. You need to have that kind of confidence in the work that you're doing as well. Okay, I know we're about to run late here. Is there anyone else that has anything that they'd like to? Okay, Kenny, briefly,
My
please.
my wife's in Beverly Hills today, putting a
Great.
beautiful condo on the market for just probably under 2 mil. So
Okay.
while I'm busy up in the mountains here with a property.
Okay. And Kenny, we're gonna go back to that place for brunch when I get there. Hopefully we could get Deneen to come and all my California friends. We'd love to have you guys. That would be.
When are you back in town?
It's gonna be a few months now because again, I'm
Yeah,
having hip surgery.
Oh, that's right.
But I love it out there, and I love to see everybody at those things. So great. Next Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. We've got this probably on Friday as well. We're going to be putting more content out there. If you guys are interested in the in-depth on how to use Claude Code, please let me know. It's a separate subscription. It's going to be a 6-week course that I'm going to be leading starting in February. We are trying to get people together for it. So if you are curious about it, we will put a lot of time into that. And I mean, here's the thing, whether it's me or anyone else, you guys need this. You guys need to understand this is where business is headed. It's not even a negotiable point anymore. That if you look at just how dramatically, how the change has happened so fast, you guys are really going to need to do this type of work. So whether it's with me or your own curriculum you set up, please, please, please do reach out to me. Eitan and I will be leading the charge on all of this. It's going to be great stuff. And I look forward to seeing all of you. I look forward to seeing all of you next week, and make it a great and safe week. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Ed.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Edmund.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.